This channel is sponsored by Loot Crate, the monthly subscription box that's always filled with surprises for gamers and geeks alike. If you're interested, go to lootcrate.com/hawk525, and after choosing your crate, type in promo code HAWK525 for a 10% discount. The link and promo code will be in the description box below. Thanks guys, and hope you enjoy the show. Alright, what's up everyone? Sean here with Danny.
What's up?
We are finally back for the movie review for Infinity Warfare. Oh, I was saying Infinity Warfare because we were just talking about Infinite Warfare earlier.
Oh, okay.
Call of Duty shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, we definitely watched Avengers Infinity War, which by now it's been like breaking box office records, and it's like the number one Marvel movie, and definitely beating Black Panther and all that stuff, and it comes with no surprise.
Yeah.
Right. This is the quote unquote the most ambitious crossover film of all time. The wait has been has been like boiling and stuff like that for all those many years with all the Marvel movies for like what, 10 years now? Yes. It's been 10 years?
10 years.
Jeez, that's crazy. With Iron Man as the very first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, which was big hit ever since with all the other movies. But now Infinity War with our big purple boy Thanos making his debut. And you were very excited. I was very excited for it. But I want to hear what you thought of it. You can definitely take the floor first.
Yeah, well, it had a lot to live up to. Very anticipated, as you've said. Yeah, it's been 10 years since then, building up all to this moment. And I thought the movie was fantastic. I really had a good time. From beginning to end. It was very enjoyable, and I had a good time with it. Some great action scenes, great visuals. The pacing was like fast paced. So it's a 2.5 hour movie, but it went by quick.
Yeah. Like
when it ended, I was like, I wanted more, and that's how much I liked it.
Right.
The characters were great. Very emotional. The scenes. The emotional scenes and it is like, wow! It got me. A few scenes got me really good. You sprinkled in there with a little bit of comedy.
Yes, of course.
Which was for the most part there were hits. So good comedic timing, and overall, I fucking loved it.
Yeah. I think they did a really good job just building up to this movie, like with all the other films, sort of Guardians of the Galaxy and all the other movies that did something new, and or just did a lot of the movie things just well. Just telling a story about this superhero, pretty well, very, pretty entertaining for the most part, and then having all these characters that you built to care come together. Especially with Peter Quill and his team, and you get to see him with Tony Stark finally together in one screen. And meanwhile, we have Doctor Strange and all the heroes, coming into this one film. I think it definitely paid off very well. Like you said, it was very well paced. I was definitely not bored of it at all. There's like really no part where I felt it was like dragging on. It was like very interesting.
Yeah, no. There's some scenes that they put in there where it's like to give you a little bit of the breathing room. But once it starts to pick up, it's like a fucking roller coaster. Especially during the second half, it's just like boom, 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 like one thing after the other. It's intense, really intense.
And of course, for me, the big highlight of this film was Thanos. I really like Thanos.
Yes.
He was a very interesting villain. Despite him just, on the outside, he's just like a conqueror of the galaxy kind of, or universe, excuse me, kind of guy. But he's actually pretty complicating. You know what I mean? Like he's a pretty
Oh, yes.
complicated character for what was given. Like even within the time given to have it on screen, they were able to tell a good amount of information, if not just way more than enough information or story about what Thanos is going through and what he's feeling and stuff like that, what his goals are, and how he feels, as he's progressing and stuff like that.
You learn a lot about him in this one movie. Because before Infinity War, you of course you know about Thanos. They've shown Thanos in a little bit of the few Marvel movies beforehand. But they always just showed him as like the big bad guy. Oh, he's bad. He's the father of Gamora and Nebula, and that's pretty much it. There was really no depth. Like they showed him a little bit in the end credit scene for Age of Ultron that he grabbed the Infinity Gauntlet and he was going to go find the gems, the Infinity Stones.
Stones, yeah.
And that's pretty much all you knew. And in this movie, you find out a lot about him, about his backstory, how he adopted Gamora, and it's emotional. They gave him a lot of emotion and backstory in this movie, in this one movie alone. Yeah,
what did you think of Josh Brolin being Thanos?
Oh, no, he was great. He was one of the best parts about this movie. Character wise, acting wise, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I think he definitely nailed it. I think he even said himself that he liked playing Thanos a lot better than Cable, funny enough.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in an interview. Yeah. I can definitely see why. Like, Cable's more straightforward. He's like the big mean badass, like kind of gritty, whatever. But Thanos, like, he's got a little more going on than just being a big purple, ball sack chin motherfucker.
Exactly. A lot more complex here.
Yeah. And they did a really good job portraying him without, of course, dragging on or providing too little information like that. They definitely provided the right amount of story for him to to really establish him as this pretty complicated villain or complex, and just he's a good, definitely my favorite villain of all the Marvel films. Really.
Same, yeah,
definitely, yeah, and he rightfully deserves all the good attention and the memes and whatever,
Yeah, well, the memes are a little too much, but people are crazy about the memes now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the overall. The villain of Thanos was very well written. The directors, the Russo brothers, and the writers of this movie did a fantastic job blending everything together. All the different heroes, the Guardians, the Avengers, even the new characters of the Marvel recently, like Black Panther, Spider-Man. I was gonna say Ant-Man. Sorry. They did a great job incorporating all these superhero characters in this film. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is a pretty big roller coaster ride, and like we said, it's just it definitely did a really good job just making that big payoff, and all the weight and anticipation, all the hype that was building around it. It definitely paid off. Really gotta say that the fight scenes were really cool. They did a really good job making Thanos cool too. Not only being this emotional guy, but being just cool too. Like he just big strong guy, but he can definitely do a lot of terrifying shit with those stones, man.
Yes.
Yeah, with especially with that gauntlet and all. It's just he's definitely terrifying. Yeah. So, meanwhile, the rest of the characters, the rest of the cast, did a good job, of course, being themselves as always. And like I said, they did a really good job with the character interactions. So I liked having Thor and the Guardians together. That was a really, really funny scene to watch. I was just entertained. Of course, with Peter, with Tony, and there's of course Bruce Banner and everyone else. They did a pretty good job just interacting together. Of course, even with the Captain America, Black Widow, and Black Panther, and the General, together and stuff like that. They did a good job with that too.
Yes.
Even Winter Soldier, for what he had, he did he did what he could. Same with War Machine and Vision and Scarlet Witch. it's just there's a lot of characters, but they did a really good job equally putting them in the spotlight, and I think they all had a pretty good amount of time to do the things that they need to do.
Yeah.
You know, and of course there's that big just all out war, and that was a really cool scene, and by the end of it, it was just I was super confused. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And, but yeah, like you know, overall, really liked it. Yeah, I think, you know, that's pretty much I think all I can say without, you know, spoiling things before we go into spoiler territory. But is there anything else you wanted to point out? What about, you know, Thanos' henchmen? Like, any comments on that, or just like the world or something? I don't know. Like, anything else?
Well, I thought his henchmen were there. Like they were cool and all. Like one in particular, Ebony Maw, the wizard. He stood out above the rest, and
he was kind of like the right hand man, pretty much.
Yeah, but you know, apart from that, you know, they were you know, fine. You know, they did their job. You know, they're just, you know, his henchmen.
Yeah, they're pretty much the henchmen.
Not really much development with them.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, the writers wanted to focus on Thanos and a little bit of the Avengers when it comes to development. There's not really much development in the superheroes.
Yeah.
Because you already had like 18, 19 movies beforehand to catch up. So they just wanted to focus on Thanos. Like, this movie is all about Thanos.
Yeah.
This is all he gets: the most screen time, the most development, the most dialogue. The most, this is his movie.
This is his movie, yeah. Very much you can call it Thanos, like Thanos the movie.
Yes, you know, he's front and center in the poster. So yeah, this is his movie, and you know, I'm glad they went that route. And yeah, this movie was such a blast. You know, there's just not really big flaws that I found in this movie.
Not really.
I was so entertained. Maybe a few nitpicks, but you know, other than that, it was like such a blast for me. Like almost a perfect movie.
It really is. I think it almost really was a perfect movie. I had just a lot of fun with it. Just everything, like you know, I watched it in XD, which is like kind of the step up from like your regular movie. So that was definitely added to the experience. You watched it with IMAX 3D, or is it just IMAX 2D or whatever?
Oh no, I watched it in Cinemark XD.
Oh, you watched it in XD as well. Yeah. I thought you watched it in IMAX, but it really definitely helps with the, you know, all the surround sound and shit. And
yes.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm just really trying to think of anything else before we, you know, start going to that territory. But yeah, I think, you know, it's definitely a good part one, and definitely leaves you excited for part two.
Oh yes.
Let's just say that much. So, if you had to give it a rating, if you don't have any more comments about it, what would you give it?
So as much as I really liked this movie, as much as I really loved it, like I said before, it's not a perfect movie. So I can't give this movie a 10 out of 10 as much as I would like to. So I'm gonna give this a 9. 9.5.
Okay.
Like a middle 9, high 9.
The highest 9 you can ever give it.
Yes.
You can ever get. Okay, yes. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's respectable, because there is some flaws in this movie. I don't want to say it until spoilers, but it's up there. It's like, I would say it's for, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie to date.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the best Marvel movie to date.
It's MCU.
With cinematic universe.
In the MCU.
Yeah. Within the cinematic universe. Yeah, I thought about it. You know, it was like bouncing between a 9 and a 10. Like, I don't know. It was just really hard, especially with a couple of weeks that we had, you know, in between just watching the movie and then now, like, it's really tough. Honestly, it's such a tough decision because, you know, it's nearly perfect, right? It's such a fun film. Emotional roller coaster ride, all that stuff. It's a great Marvel experience. Even as just a casual Marvel fan, like, I don't really read the comics all that much. I've just read very few, but other than that, it's hard, it's tough. But you know what? I'm gonna actually go with it and give this a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Wow. I just the highest score I can ever give it for a movie like this.
Yeah, no, it's well deserved. Yeah, I mean that 10 out of 10. As much as I really wanted to, I couldn't give that 10 out of 10. But yeah, I can see why. It's like entertainment factor. You know, it's there. I could watch this like 5-10 times and not get bored, not get tired of it.
Yeah. It was just a really fun film, and that's what counts for me. You know, it's how fun is it to watch, how interesting it is, and it just has everything that I look forward to a movie. Good action, a good villain, good heroes that you care about. You know, and like of course, you know, the humor. Of course, that's always a great kind of breather between all those serious tones and stuff like that. Also, I was a little afraid that it was gonna be like Ragnarok, but no, not at all.
Yeah. Ragnarok. As much as I like Ragnarok, it felt more like an action comedy. And then this one, even though there's some good amount of comedy in Infinity War, it's more serious. It has a much more serious tone than Ragnarok.
Oh yeah.
Ragnarok was cool, you know, because it was different. It was mostly comedy, you know, with some action or a good amount of action. But it was like a lot of comedic moments in Ragnarok, like from beginning to end. It was all like there's always a funny moment.
Yeah.
And in Infinity War, it's, you know, a little bit of funny and like it gets serious and a little bit of some funny. And then the big fights, it gets all serious. Fucking shit happens at the end. Without spoiling it, it's intense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the memes have kind of given away for some people, but yeah, we'll definitely talk more about it. But yeah, you give it a 9, the highest 9 pretty much, and me 10 out of 10. At this point, you know, it doesn't really matter if we recommend it or not. Just go see it. It's such a good experience. Go get it on Blu-ray, whatever. Just whatever you can to do to see the film. Yeah, it's such a well-rounded, well-deserved 10 out of 10 from me. And you'll probably maybe see why. It's just great fun. It's just a great fun film for everyone, for adults, children. You know, it's a perfect film for me.
Yeah, you said for like a good film for everyone. Our best friend Andy, who hasn't seen a Marvel film since Spider-Man 1 from 2002, so he claims. He went to go see Infinity War with his girlfriend, and he really liked it, without knowing jack shit about the characters or anything about Marvel, of course.
Yeah, that's
knowing jack shit about MCU. He went to go see it, and he said he enjoyed it from beginning to end. He thought it was awesome.
Yeah, he was talking about Thanos and everything. And it really shows you need characters like that, dude.
Yep.
Villains are just as important as the heroes, and they just did it. I hate to say it, but they did it marvelously. Whatever, but
yes,
yeah. I hate to say it, but
yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, but anyways, we loved it. It really goes to show that even a friend that knows jack shit and can enjoy a movie like that. So without even knowing, it's such an entertaining film. It's just really fun. So yeah. But anyways, we definitely said enough about it without spoiling it. Now we're gonna go into spoiler territory, so thank you so much for enjoying our non-spoiler section. But for those who want to stick around for the spoiler section, hear what we gotta say about the big juicy parts about Infinity War. Stick around, and thank you guys so much for watching this part of the review. We'll see you in the spoiler section.